The Flex lift has the potential to create up to 69 different platform configurations by simply changing the type and bolting position of the platform extensions and other components that connect to the base platform. Check your order details before starting to ensure your final assembly matches your pre-planned order configuration. Flex lift preparation. When planning to install a Flex lift, there are a few things that must be considered. The support base for the Flex lift must be solid and capable of anchoring and supporting the base frame. We recommend a 60 by 60 inch concrete pad, approximately 6 inches thick. The pad should be level within a half an inch and smooth with no projections. The travel distance must be checked and is measured from the support base to the upper landing sill. Flex lift is available in 7 different maximum lifting heights, from 28 inches to 14 feet. The travel wall is a barrier that extends from the upper landing sill to the support base and helps keep the user secure on the platform while operating the lift. This wall must be smooth and solid with no projections. Before installing your Flex lift, be sure to assemble the required tools as listed in your Flex manual. Check the following site measurements of your Flex lift installation prior to unpackaging. Upper landing width and depth, and check the upper landing and the lower landing for level within 1/2 of an inch. Confirm there is a dedicated 15 amp 110 volt outlet within 6 feet of the tower location. Unpackaging. Before removing the packaging on your Flex lift, inspect the exterior packaging and note any damage by taking digital photos and marking them on the waybill. Carefully remove the packaging, making sure not to damage any components when cutting the packaging wrap. Remove all components packaged on the outside of the folded platform first and set them aside for later assembly. Remove one side of the platform packaging strap to access the components that are packaged between the folded platform and the tower guide frame. Remove all components packaged between the folded platform and the tower guide frame. Note and set aside the yellow envelope package that contains the owner's manual and installation instructions, which include electrical wiring diagrams that you will need to reference during your installation. Lowering the platform. Once all components and packaging have been removed, remove the other platform packaging strap and carefully rotate the platform down to the horizontal position. Locating the lift keys. Every Flex lift is equipped with 2 types of keys. The control box cover keys are used to open the control box to access the fuses and control relays when servicing the lift. The on-off control keys are attached to the inside of the control box cover for shipping purposes. Retrieve the on-off control keys. Close and lock the control box cover and insert the on-off key into the on-off key switch located in the center of the control box cover. Removing the top and front tower cover panels. At the top of the tower, there are 4 screws holding the top cover panel in place. Loosen each of these 4 screws to remove the top cover. Note that these screws do not need to be removed completely, only loosened. The top cover should slide up and off with little resistance. Removing the top cover reveals 3 screws at the top of the tower, holding the front cover in place. Remove these screws and pull the panel out. Note that the front panel is also connected with Velcro, so you will need to apply a small amount of pressure to fully release it. Set the front tower cover panel aside and reinstall the top cover panel so the lift can be operated during the installation. Note that when installing the top cover, the larger plastic washers go on the outside of the cover and the smaller plastic washers go on the inside next to the tower frame. Slide the top cover fully into the slots to make sure the top cover switch is fully activated. Now that the top cover is on, plug the lift into the wall Test the lift operation by pressing the up and down paddles, making sure that the emergency stop is pulled out and the on-off control key is turned 90 degrees clockwise to the on position. Raise the platform about 2 feet up from the bottom position to access the base legs. Check that the tower to base leg attachment bolts are tight, as they may have loosened during shipping. Remove the 4 shipping bolts that secure the base legs to the shipping pallet. Slowly slide the lift forward until the legs tilt forward off the pallet. Tilt the tower forward and slide out the shipping pallet, allowing the lift to be lowered onto the floor. Platform extension and wall panel assembly. Start by positioning the lift near the install location, allowing enough space to easily work around the lift. Locate the pre-labeled fastener packages. Connect the platform extensions to the base platform using 5/16 by 1 inch bolts with flat washers and nylon lock nuts. Make sure the bolting position of the extensions match your order configuration, as they are interchangeable. Tighten these bolts using a 1/2 inch combination wrench and socket driver. Connect the wall panels to the platform extension uprights using 3/16 diameter by 1/8 inch clamping thickness pop rivets. The wall panel rivets package is labeled and should not be confused with the toe plate bracket rivets, which are the same diameter but have a deeper clamping thickness. The control wall panel has an opening that fits over the control panel on the tower side of the platform. All other panels can only be assembled in one way once the platform extensions are installed correctly. We recommend inserting the panel rivets loose into the extensions prior to setting the rivets for ease of alignment. Set the rivets, making sure each rivet is pushed in all the way before clamping. We recommend using a power rivet gun, as the rivet pins are stainless steel to achieve a tight clamp to ensure a rigid wall panel connection. Assembling the toe plate and grab bar. Note that the toe plate and grab bar can be mounted to the right or left side of the tower, so check your order details before proceeding. Connect the grab bar to the side of the tower using 5/16 by 1 inch bolts and flat washers. Ensure the nylon spacer is in place to prevent damaging the tower side panel when tightening the grab bar bolts. Install the toe plate ramp by inserting the pin that projects out the side of the plate into the toe plate pivot bracket attached to the control wall upright tube. Install the opposite side toe plate pivot bracket using 3/16 diameter by 3/8 inch clamping thickness pop rivets. Install the rocker arm assembly using the 1/4 inch by 3/4 inch long bolts with nylon lock nuts and flat washers. Do not fully tighten the rocker arm attachment bolts at this stage, as you may need to adjust the rocker arm position to align with the grab bar. Install the rocker arm nylon guide bushing and flexible strap, so the flexible strap wraps around the back of the grab bar. Tighten the bushing guide bolt using the jam nut positioned between the flexible strap and the rocker arm. Set the jam nut position to allow free rotational movement of the bushing and flexible strap. Run the lift up to check that the rocker arm guide position remains consistent on the grab bar before tightening the rocker arm toe plate attachment bolts. The safety pan will be pre-assembled to match the configuration of your order. It will attach to the bottom of the platform in 5 locations using nylon straps that are already attached to the platform. Raise the platform to a good working height and pull the straps through the holes in the safety pan. Attach the straps to the safety pan using the number 10 by 1/2 inch long screws and flat washer. The strap length is adjustable with 3 holes and is set and marked in the factory. Careful to not over tighten the screw, as it can easily strip out in the plastic safety pin. Positioning and securing the lift. Once the lift is fully assembled, it can be moved into position. The running clearance gap between the platform and the travel wall should be no less than 1/4 of an inch and no more than 3/4 of an inch. Once the lift is in position, tighten the base leg leveling bolts in each corner to lift the base leg slightly off the support pad, making sure that only the bolts are making contact. Leave the middle leveling bolts backed off for now. Check to make sure that the distance between the platform and the travel wall is consistent as the platform moves from the top to the bottom of the travel. If necessary, you can use the base leg leveling bolts to fine-tune this setting. The platform tilt can be adjusted using 2 tilt bolts located on the underside of the platform as shown. Rotate the tilt bolts clockwise to lower the tilt angle and counterclockwise to raise the tilt angle. Adjust these bolts equally so that the platform is approximately 3/16 of an inch higher than level on the side of the platform opposite the tower to allow for some movement when the load is applied to the platform. Setting the upper floor travel limit. The upper floor travel limit is determined by the vertical position of the limit bracket located on the center post. When you receive the lift, it will be set for maximum travel height. To set the upper floor travel limit, loosen the clamping screws on the upper limit bracket and move it down to approximately 4 inches below the upper landing height. Test the upper limit bracket position by running the lift up until the lift stops automatically. Measure the distance between the platform and the upper landing and adjust the upper limit bracket by that amount. Once the bracket is set, tighten the clamping screws and install the locking screw that's taped to the side of the upper limit bracket. Drilling and installing the base leg anchor bolts. Install the concrete anchors using a 3/8 concrete bit and hammer drill. Drill a 3/8 hole in the concrete through the 4 base leg anchor holes. The hole depth should be slightly deeper than the length of the drop-in anchor. Tighten each anchor so the base legs are firmly secured. Now that all 4 anchors are set in place, you can slightly tighten up the middle leveling bolt, which will further stiffen the base legs. Remove the top tower cover so that you can slide the front tower cover back into place. Note that there is a small locating slot at the bottom of the front tower cover panel that will help with alignment. Once the bottom of the panel is in place, line up the top 3 holes and snap the Velcro into place. Note that these set screws do not need to be over-tightened. Reinstall the top cover. It is important that the panel slides completely down into the slots, as the top cover switch must be activated for the lift to operate.